What's up everyone, Eric here and welcome to Hardware for Gamers. For those of you who are new to the channel, I mostly review and test PC cases, CPU coolers, and PC case fans. So if that is something that you guys are into, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It does help a lot. In this video, I'll be going over the testing I'll be using for the PC case fans. So that's the way I'll be testing the fans and how things will look on the charts. I will be referring to this video in all my fan testing videos rather than repeating myself in every video. So in this review format, I will be only reviewing one fan per video for the most part. I will always start a fan review with an overview of the fan. So going over the rated RPM, the bearing type, the color options, things like that. Now when it comes to testing the fans, I'll start by mounting the fan into an acrylic sheet. I have two acrylic sheets, one for 120mm and one for 140mm fans. Once the fan is mounted in the acrylic sheet, I'll place it in the fan saddle. Then I'll plug the fan into a benchtop power supply. I'm using a benchtop power supply rather than a motherboard so that I can manually control the voltages. So yes, this means I will be using voltage control even if the fan is a PWM fan. With the acrylic sheet in the fan saddle, I'll use a tachometer and a sound level meter to check the RPM and dBA of the fan. I'll also be taking sound recordings of the fan. I do all this at 12, 10, 8, 6, and 4 volts, and that is assuming that the fan does operate at those voltages. The sound level meter and the microphone will be located 8 inches from the fan for all testing. And please note, all sound testing is done with no obstructions. Once I've recorded the data at each voltage, I will find the exact voltage the fan requires to operate at 34 dBA. Again, that's assuming the fan operates at 34 dBA. And that's how I'll be checking the RPM and dBA of the fans I test. Now, if the fan is PWM, I will also check the PWM range. I'll check the PWM at 0% and at 100%. I will use the tachometer to confirm the RPM with what the motherboard is giving me. Now, if the fan has a 0 dBA mode, I will indicate at what percent and RPM the fan starts spinning. After this, I will remove the acrylic sheet from the saddle and fasten it to my homemade wind tunnel. Then I'll use an anemometer to measure the wind speed in feet per minute, or FPM. Now, I do understand manufacturers indicate airflow using CFM, or cubic feet per minute. The reason I'm using FPM is the size of my tunnel is going to be different than manufacturers, which will throw off the math for the volume of air being moved, or the CFM. This means they won't match up with what the manufacturer indicates, so you'll only be able to compare the fans I test to other fans that I test. Now, once the fan is attached to the wind tunnel, I'll run 3 sets of tests. A non-obstructed test, a meshed panel test, and a covered panel test. I do this at 12, 10, 8, 6, and 4 volts, as well as at 34 dBA. Again, assuming that the fan operates at all these voltages and or 34 dBA. Finally, after all that, I'll be doing CPU temperature testing with the fans. For the 120mm fans, I'll be using the Deepcool Neptune White. And for the 140mm fans, I'll be using the Fantex PHTC14PE. Now, I did go back and retest the 4 fans that I previously reviewed, which is what you'll be seeing in these charts. And of course, I'll be adding more fans to these charts as I review more fans. I will be taking all the data from this testing and breaking it up into 11 charts. 3 of these charts are to look at the fan that's being reviewed. There will be the RPM and dBA chart, the FPM chart, and the CPU temperature chart. Each of these charts will have the 12, 10, 8, 6, and 4 volt results indicated. Then I'll be comparing the fan that's under review to similar fans based off performance and price, which is what the next 5 charts will be for. There'll be the dBA chart. There'll be the non-obstructed airflow chart, the mesh panel chart, the covered panel chart, and the CPU temperature chart. The last 3 charts are comparing all the fans I've tested at 34 dBA. So there'll be the 34 dBA non-obstructed chart, a 34 dBA mesh panel chart, and a 34 dBA covered panel chart. Now, if the fan is too quiet to actually reach 34 dBA, I'll be using the 12 volt results and indicate the dBA on the charts. Now, if you wanted to get a better look at these charts, I will be posting the 34 dBA charts and the fan under review charts to the HFG Discord server. You will need to be a member to see them, but it is completely free to join the server. All you need to do is agree to the server rules. Don't be a dick. It's as simple as that. When I'm done going over all the charts, I'll be giving my recommendations and thoughts on the fan being reviewed. Things like where the best place to put the fan in a case would be, and or if the fan is even worth buying. Well, that's all I have to say on the fan testing, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're still watching, please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified whenever I drop a new video. Please follow me on Twitter at HFG_YT. As I said before, there is a Discord server. There is a link in the description below. And again, it is completely free to join. And as always, thank you for watching and see you next time.